it's bad enough that Portia even made the statement, right? Bad enough she made the statement. But then for you to sit in Angela's face and lie about it because you're a coward, right? But then you double down about it in your confessionals. Like, Portia the Cowardly Peach. Like, girl, what are you doing? Oh my God. Find a storyline, Portia, that doesn't involve Drew or Charles. What's up, everybody? Welcome and welcome back to the channel. I'm Tammy. This is TammyTalks. We are here today to talk the Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 16, Episode 9, Blame It on the Henny. If you guys are brand new to the channel, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, thumbs up the video. Let me know what you guys thought about everything down in the comments. We are now on the road to 40,000 subs. So if you've been watching all season and you have not yet subscribed, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. I kind of have a voice. I kind of don't, but we're going to make it through this. So the episode starts off with Cynthia. So Cynthia went to sleep early, so she missed out on the drama that happened the last night in Nashville. So we get this scene where Cynthia is making her rounds and she's trying to find out exactly what happened. So Cynthia finally looks like herself. Her wig looks nice. Her makeup looks nice. She's dressed like the old Cynthia we are used to. Like, what was going on the first 8 episodes, we don't know, but Cynthia looked nice tonight. Good for her, okay? So, by the time that Cynthia gets to Portia, Portia is claiming that she does not remember saying it. And I'm like, I just kind of feel like if you're gonna say the shit, stand on it. You know what I mean? Like it's not a funny joke. It's trashy, it's tacky, it's very on brand for Portia, but like stand on it. But to keep saying, oh, I maybe it was the liquor. I don't remember saying it. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You just didn't think that you were gonna get caught. That's what that was. So Shamea is reading a scathing text from Angela that basically says that, Shamea is this, that, and the other. She expected more from her, but she's good on her. Stay blessed. Stay blocked and blessed. I love to say that in the comment section, but that's basically what Angela gave. So Shamea wants to get to the bottom of this because she doesn't understand why she would be receiving the message. And then Cynthia invites the ladies to a Bailey Q. She's going to host the Bailey Q on Juneteenth rather than the 4th of July because why not? Okay. So we get to Kelly. Kelly is throwing a birthday party for her dog. Um, I don't have a problem with that. I don't. I feel like it was a bit much, but hey, that's your dog, girl. I guess my issue is she's bragging about the dog being at the groomer for 9 hours to still look a tacky mess. And yes, I understand that the dog had gotten stolen and all that type of stuff. But like I said before, then just dye the dog pink. That dog looks tacky. That dog looks a mess. Talking about you spend over $1,000 on it. Like, if you just got money growing on trees and you can do that with that damn dog, send it to me. But that's a waste of $1,000, Kelly. To be real, Kelly's oldest daughter Chance is not there because that is her weekend with her grandparents. So I don't know if that's like a joint custody or something type of deal. But the way that she said it was interesting. Like, could your daughter not like I didn't quite get it, but that's why the oldest daughter isn't there. So we then get Brit is there, and Brit is talking about her mother and how her mother is going to be moving out of her house in roughly 30 to 45 days and officially moving in with her and Mike. So I don't care, right? Who cares? Kelly then tells Brit about the Bailey Q. Awesome. Um, Episode wasn't a lot initially, but let's save some hope for the end of the episode. Portia goes to her mom's house because she cannot film at her house, and she bought PJ. She called it a puppy. The dog looked grown. I don't know what kind of dog that was, but it was just like, hey, Pilar, this is for you. And hands her this dog. No, like, introducing the dog. No animal safety. Just here's the damn dog. Go play with it. PJ wants to name the dog Peanut Butter. That's cute. The dog is white, so but cool. So she said that she wants to compensate for her mood being so low lately with PJ. She's been very low energy. And she feels like this will satisfy Pilar for a while because Pilar is now at that age where she's asking for a sibling and Portia don't know where to go buy one. I said, okay. So she's talking to her sister and she's talking to her mom about how she found out that Dennis is filming with Drew. Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? Who? 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 Nobody. Like, I am so sick of Portia and this storyline. Surely there. Oh, what happened to the sheets? Let's see Portia talk about her sheets. You remember the sheets that she wants to do? Oh God. So she feels that Dennis picked Drew over her and Pilar, and he did not. He didn't. So Portia then tries to play off the fact that she said that she would sleep with Charles, with Angela's husband. And the way that her mom and her sister are cracking up laughing as if, oh, it's just a kiki. It's a kiki. But Portia is crashing out at Drew and Dennis literally working together, literally working. That's cause for you to crash out and lose your mind. But the fact that you want to sleep with Angela's husband, oh, that's just a joke. That's not a big deal. It's just the kiki. I was drunk. I was having fun. Portia, go straight to hell. Like Portia is getting on my nerves. Portia is getting on my nerves with this. This is silly. I understand you can't film in your house, Portia, but you have to have another storyline you can pull out your ass. You have to. Maybe it was supposed to be her and Kenya's reconciliation or something of the fact, and the fact that Kenya is now, off the show. I just, oh my God. So we then see Shamea. Shamea goes to Shadina's office. Remember her previous surrogate who owns the surrogacy clinic with Dr. Jackie, and she's going to meet her new surrogate, Asha. When Asha came out, I said, how old is Asha? Because Asha looked young. But then Asha said that I guess this is not her first time. Her kids are older, so they are ready. They understand more. But Asha says she's excited and ready. I said, girl, because how much are you getting paid? What is Shamea paying you to carry her baby? Because the way that she was like, yeah, I'm excited, I'm ready, let's do it, let's get in here now. I said, damn, girl. Asha is single, and they let her know, look, if you do decide that you're going to start dating somebody, if you meet somebody, we got to go through the proper channels. It's cool. Shamea FaceTimes with Gerald, and Asha is ready to meet, or she meets Gerald through FaceTime. Everything's cool, so I guess we gonna get down to business. Cool. Angela is working out with Charles and she wants to tell him about Nashville. And I don't know why, because whenever she tells Charles anything that has gone on with the ladies, he doesn't care. He's very apathetic. He's very aloof about it. Charles doesn't care about this women drama on this reality show you done made me sign up for. So she starts off with saying how I invited Drew and Portia was upset. Charles was like, how you gonna invite somebody? I said, cause production. Charles, you didn't know? Production. Production. She had to because of production. And Charles don't know, y'all. Charles don't know. We got to make sure Charles knows. But Charles was like, how you going to invite somebody on the trip? So then Angela said, well, okay. Well, Brit was talking for Portia. Charles said Portia got her own big ass mouth. Why she couldn't say what she had to say? Angela goes on to explain that Portia gave her ass to kiss for asking why did she take that lady's husband. And Charles was like, well, shit, basically you deserved it. I said, Angela, quit. Angela would do best having scenes with Charles that are about like their family. But these scenes when she's telling him about the foolishness that happens in regards to the show, it just does not work out for her ever. It just doesn't. So she's like, okay, you on Portia's side. Portia said that she wanted to sleep with you and all this other type of stuff. And Charles was like, who cares? I'm not thinking about Porsha. So she tries to, get him going, get him hype. And yeah, they said that you're easy to sleep with and you out here sleeping with everybody. And Charles was like, who cares what they think? I don't care. Who cares? But he did say that he wants a front row seat to the fight. Angela, I kind of hate this for you, but I guess you're okay with it. You're used to it, but like, damn, your scenes with Charles are so hard to watch. They are so painful. Yikes. They're so cringeworthy. Yikes. Yikes. Okay. So we pan over to Portia filming at her mother's house, and Portia is planning a little welcome home party for her au pair. Now, I'm going to be real with y'all. Does Portia need an au pair? Because what is Portia doing throughout the day that she truly needs this much help? Like, let's be very for real. Does Portia still work at Dish? No. She quit all her jobs when she got with Simon. What are you doing, Portia, that you need an au pair? Because an au pair lives with you. And like they're more than just a nanny that comes and goes. Like, I, why do you need this? And why is the au pair going to be going between you and Dennis's house? We then see Dennis pulls up a chair in her confessional and he is filming a confessional with her. And I'm like, why is Dennis filming a confessional with you? But now it makes sense. You is what this scene told me. What this scene told me is that Portia still loves Dennis. Portia is probably still fucking Dennis. Portia don't want nobody to even get remotely close to Dennis because she still wants him. Why are y'all filming a confessional together? Oh man. Okay. Portia tells Dennis how she found out that he filmed with Drew. Dennis was like, well, to your humor, to what you wanted, to your wishes. Drew's not even signed to me anymore. I'm like, yeah, it could be because the damn album's done. The EP is done, but okay. So Portia's like, well, you said that she tried to sleep with you. Dennis is like, well, who said that? So Portia pulls out her phone and was like, look, I can show you. And she's scrolling through, and then she takes his glasses off of him to put them on her to read the message. I said, "Oh Lord, why don't you just get back together at this point?" But she reads the text, and the text nowhere. All the text said, all she had to say was yes. Dennis was like, that does not mean she wanted to sleep with me. So then Portia quickly drops it, like, okay, well, whatever. And I'm like, Portia is going out so bad. This was a terrible, terrible, terrible comeback season for her. Like, Portia looks a fool this season, y'all, but hey, whatever. So we then pan over to Brit. So Brit is with her sister Cher and her grandmother, and they are packing up her mother's house. So this is the house that her father built for her mother in 2014. We find out that her father didn't even get a chance to live a full year in the house before he perished. Which is kind of unfortunate. And her sister, Cher, the same one that is filmed with her already, feels a way about it because she wants a home to be able to come back to. Brit, on the other hand, is saying how her mother does not like that because it becomes the spot that when everybody has maybe a struggle or whatever, they come on back and stay with her, and she doesn't want that. Okay? Can't blame her for that. So they're in the kitchen, they're packing, they're in the kitchen, and the sister Cher is looking for the liquor, and her mother is like, I don't drink like that. I don't have any liquor. And you would know that if you came over often. I said, oh, okay. So then the Cher, I don't know what she's looking for, gets mad and it's like, how dare you give away all my father's stuff? So then the mother yells out, how dare he leave me? Cher screams out, he died. I said, wait a minute, everyone. Wait a minute, everybody. What the fuck? right? So then Brit calls the other sister, Tiara. Tiara looked like she at the Walmart and was like, I couldn't be there with you guys today was a no, but I still love you guys. Cher is like, you love me, Tiara, do you? And Tiara's like, of course I do. So then Cher is like, well, answer when I call. She starts crying and screaming. It's not fair for you to shut me out and I'm grieving and you're grieving. I said, again, wait a minute. Wait a minute. So then the grandmother gets in her Maya Angelou bag and it's like, y'all need to stop fussing and acting a fool all the time because y'all are family. I said, okay. The scene was so much. The scene was so much. I was uncomfortable watching it. Y'all need therapy. The whole fucking family. Everybody needs therapy. I understand that y'all are grieving. I'm sympathetic of that. I'm empathetic of that. Y'all are grieving, but OMG. This scene was so chaotic, it almost felt fake. And the way that they were all just comfortable in the dysfunction, no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. I don't want to see a scene like that again. No. Mm-mm. No. So then we get to the Bailey Q. All right. So Cynthia, like I said earlier, is hosting on Juneteenth because it is now a national holiday. And even though it is raining, they are gonna make it work. The prophet shows up and everything. The prophet shows up and everything. So I didn't even know the prophet was gonna get started, but she immediately just starts running down some stuff about Kelly that apparently nobody would have known outside of Brit. And I was like, ma'am, did we ask you to get started? I mean, it was no formal introduction or anything. She just starts going through and running down their business. I said, okay. So then Shamea comes in full African attire, and I was shocked that it didn't have a Prada or a Chanel stamp on there somewhere. Because y'all know if Shamea's gonna do anything, she's gonna make sure we know that what she has on is a label, right? I don't have a problem with people wearing labels. I don't. But when everything you wear is monogram like that, it teeters from fashion to tacky very, very quickly. And I feel like Shamea is teetering on the line. That's just me. So the prophet looks at Kelly and it's like, who has a Porsche? And looks at Angela and it's like, who has a Porsche? And Angela was like, we ain't got no Porsche. So then Shamea was like, is it a Porsche? And I'm like, okay, Shamea, everything is funny now to the end of the season when you crying because you don't have your friend no more because she done shitted on you. But hey, keep on laughing. Keep that same energy, Shamea, when we get to the end of the season. So Shamea gets told to lay low. This was such a choppy scene. We didn't know who the prophet was talking to. We didn't know who the prophet was giving advice to. Or I didn't like it. It was just unorganized to me. So Porsha comes in and the prophet asks the prophet if she's getting a divorce. And it's a joke. And then Porsha was like, yeah, everything about me, if you want to know, just read the press. No, we want to know why you took that lady's husband. That's not in the press. That's not in the press. So the prophet finally tells her, I guess this is what she was saying. I couldn't tell because Drew was coming in and we didn't get a clear ear. We didn't get clear audio on Portia's segment, but okay. But it sounds like she was saying that her and somebody might be friends in the future. I don't know if it's Simon. I don't know. So when Drew comes in, Drew says she would get her reading in private because she don't want certain people to hear certain things about her. I don't blame her. Fuck these messy bitches. Get your reading done in private, Drew. So they're sitting around talking. Someone asks Angela, where has she been? I think it was Drew. And Angela was like, who just in need of a good vibe. So Brit is like, you receive what you give. Brit, did you keep that in mind? Did you keep that in mind? You receive what you give too. That's why you don't have any females as friends. That's why, because you give negative energy. You have a negative aura about you, Brit. And that's why nobody likes you. And that's why you don't have friends. You had one friend on this show, Kelly, and by the end of the season, y'all aren't going to be friends either. You are the problem. Nonetheless, so Brit then goes on to say what the prophet said was spot on with everyone. Somehow it turns into Brit yelling, "Can you not read the words coming out of my mouth?" to Angela, all because Angela said, "What is the energy? What is the energy?" So then Angela said, "Well, you have a big mouth." Talking to Brit. Brit fires back and said, "Well, maybe you need to use your mouth more." Angela said, "Not as much as you, with the stretch marks around your mouth," and calls her a whore. I said, "Oh my God." Now, I hate that they edited out her saying that she has miles on her mouth. None, because we know that that was in the preview. But you got called a whore, called you a whore, clean, smooth, and in a hurry. So Brit looks mortified and it's like, "Well, you should be a whore in the bedroom for your man." Okay. So then Brit then said that Angela, or said that Charles doesn't acknowledge being married to her, and then said that her husband doesn't acknowledge that side baby. Now, Angela does say some things about Brit's husband, but again, it was so much talking over each other, we couldn't really hear. So Cynthia has them answer questions about Juneteenth. Okay. We of course get the golden clip from Portia's dumbass thinking that the Underground Railroad were real train tracks with the real train and a conductor and all that type of stuff, which, looking back at that is it's disappointing. It's disappointing as an adult, Portia, but it's also disappointing just as a black person. Like Drew looks like she wants to be anywhere but there. Drew don't want to be there. Drew was barely in this episode, but Drew doesn't want to be there. So Cynthia has Angela and Portia go to a separate room to talk. And Angela said that, look, when she invited Drew, she thought that Portia understood her intention. Portia said, "I mean, I thought it was clear that Drew was not invited, but for whatever reason, you blew past that. Production told her to." Portia, production told her to, production. So Portia said, "Look, it started, the whole Charles thing, it started when somebody brought up something, and Portia, said, I don't know why Angela keeps talking about her husband to me." And Portia is lying, saying that she shouldn't have said it, or she should not have said it in front of Angela. So this is where the conversation gets irritating, because Angela said, "Well, you were talking about me behind my back." Portia said, "It wasn't behind your back. Your ass was supposed to be asleep." That is still behind her fucking back, Portia. That is still literally talking about her behind her back because she was not in front of you. Still behind her back. So now in in the scene, Portia is saying that she didn't talk, she didn't say it, she didn't say it, she didn't say it. But in her confessional, Portia is saying how it wasn't a big deal and she was just having fun with her friends. And if she wants to have fun with her friends, then it should be fine. Or maybe she should have said it, whatever. It's not that big of a deal. It's also not that big of a deal that Dennis filmed a scene in the studio with Drew where they literally talked about music. But you made a big deal about that, though. So they give each other fake ass apologies, but I'm sure this is not the end of that. It's not going to be the end of it. We then see Cynthia has Angela and Shamea talk. So Shamea wants to know why she received the text message, why she got the energy. Angela feels that as a married woman, she thought that Shamea would have checked her friend for even making that type of joke. Shamea said it wasn't her fight. A lot of Portia shit ain't your fight either, but you still jump in, Shamea. I just feel like you don't get to use that line. Just say you didn't care about it. But don't say it wasn't your fight because all throughout Nashville, a lot of the stuff that you decided to double dutch your ass into wasn't your fight either. A lot of stuff that happens isn't your fight, Shamea, but you still interject yourself in. So you don't get to use that line. You don't get to use that. You do all this to defend Porsha and have her back and all this stuff, and Porsha does none of this for you. So then Shamea's in her confessional trying to get real swollen in chest, talking about some, I'm sorry. It was funny, so I laughed. And I thought Shamea made herself look stupid too. I laugh at everything. I laughed at my uncle's funeral because they had him dressed like a pastor. He ain't never been to church. Shamea, you doing a lot to defend Porsha. You're doing a lot. Just say you didn't check her in because you thought it was funny. Be real about it. But that was the end of the episode. It was cute. It was cute. Nothing like super crazy happened. But let me know what you guys thought about the episode. Subscribe to the channel, thumbs up the video, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.